This is the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships, brought to you by Capri Sun, the official ready-to-drink juice of U.S. Youth Soccer. Kohl's, the official department store of U.S. Youth Soccer. Liberty Mutual Insurance, the official sponsor of U.S. Youth Soccer. Mango, an official snack of U.S. Youth Soccer. And Nestle Nesquik, the official post-game drink of U.S. Youth Soccer. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mohawk Soccer Complex here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm Todd Panula, and we are here to bring you all the action of this U17 boys semifinal taking place between the Chicago Magic, PSG, and Baltimore Celtic, a couple American clubs representing European royalty. Obviously, PSG, the famous French club that currently houses Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and Celtic, with plenty of history behind their name in the Scottish Premier League as well. But right now, none of that really matters, as it's American supremacy that these teams are interested in, as they are trying to win a U.S. Youth Soccer National Championship. They've got one more step before they can get that opportunity, and that is this semifinal matchup. Coming up, Chicago will be in their white kits with the red trunks. Interesting decision for Celtic, as they will be dressed in all black. I say an interesting decision just because at 10 a.m. right now, we're at about 88 degrees locally in the Central Standard Time, and it is a bit steamy. Not quite as humid as it has been during some of the other days' play, due to the fact that we did not have any rain prior to this one. But still, the conditions are going to be fairly nasty throughout the day as the temperatures continue to rise. But they will get a hydration break just about halfway through, so be prepared for that, just in case you wonder why there's a random stoppage about halfway through each half. They do that for the safety of the players, the officials, just about everybody really, because given the conditions, it's definitely needed. But these players are rearing and ready to go. Again, Baltimore Celtic, they will have the ball. They're in their all-black kits, and they will be going right to left. The Chicago Magic, PSG, will be going left to right. Everybody is in their allotted positions. The referee checking one last time, takes a look at the watch, hits start, blows the whistle, and we're underway in this U17 boys semifinal. This is the only U17 semifinal going on right now. The other one has been delayed due to the U15 girls going to extra time over on field 2. So if you're looking for that one, we hope you enjoy this one until your game starts, as we'll keep you up to date as much as possible on that contest as it pertains to this one. But obviously, both of these two teams focused solely on what's going on this field as PSG sends it back to their defensive line. Baltimore Celtic trying to put some additional pressure on, but the Magic able to work around it. They get it over the far sideline after a deft touch from Perpa. Baltimore Celtic able to make the steal. Perpa gets it back in the midfield. Now to Perez. Near side for Gallo. Up to Mfuninyaki. He's able to retain position. Perpa. To the far sideline. Chicago working it up the wing. Bringing it back in towards center. Mfuninyaki was the intended target on that one after Sabi had the ball. I was fortunate enough to cover both of these teams, and Chicago really kind of stuck out. Sabi had a trio of goals in game, I believe it was on the second day, might have been the first. Done so many games now, they're all kind of running together. But All the games during this tournament brought to you by Turbo Sports. As here's a giveaway. Celtic takes a shot. Pineda down to make the save. The rebound cleared away as Gallo trying to spring a counterattack, but instead Celtic looking to go the other way. Coleman will take it up the left, crosses it in, cut out by the defender. Chicago wanting a handball, none to be had yet. Touch towards the goal, and it's just barely touched away. I thought it might have been going in based on the angle that I'm standing at. But Chicago can breathe a sigh of relief, at least for now. Again, trying to get it in towards goal now is Akinlosotu. Akinlosotu drops it back, and this one will bounce into the hands of Carlos Pineda. But after it looked like it was going to be mostly Chicago in possession, a couple fast counterattacks for Baltimore Celtic almost led to a goal. Funanyaki putting on the pressure. Baltimore Celtic coming away with it. They'll send it back. Thorne wanted to get it up to the forward line, trying to get it to Akinlosotu. Chicago trying to play the long ball through Funanyaki. Thorne puts a shoulder into it, hops over the head of Batinovic. Perez to Perpa. Going over the top, looking for Sabi. Goalkeeper comes out. Indecision. He gets a piece of it, and then he is absolutely obliterated. The center official checking on the goalkeeper now. That's Carson Hunt. And very quickly, they're already going to put a substitution in. Dakota Harridge is going to come in. So there will indeed not be a substitution as Carson Hunt was able to talk his coach, Brandon Coranta, out of it. Up through the midfield, and again it's Perez. Had his pocket picked, complaining to the official. Nothing doing there. Akinlosotu has the ball played through. Too much pace. Vado Rodoncic. A little bit upset with his midfielders at the giveaway, regardless of any feelings on the non-call in the foul. Back to Pineda. Into touch, Baltimore Celtic throw. Comes Celtic through the center. Clark couldn't quite keep control of it. Funanyaki had his pocket picked. Bringing it over to the near side. A little bit too strong from Keegan Kelly. The last time we saw Celtic play, Kelly picked up a red card, a straight red card. He has served his suspension. It is back for this semifinal. Played in the final group stage game as well. Sabi over on the far sideline. Thorne trying to put a shoulder into him. Official says it will be a throw. Thorne and Hopkins part of the back line for Baltimore Celtic. A couple big bodies. Going to be hard to break down if you're Chicago, but they have the technical ability to do so. Batinovic couldn't quite get a foot onto it, but instead it's Gallo, Funanyaki, back towards center, avoiding the tackle left and right, trying to thread the needle. Perpa Martinovic. Gallo calls for it and receives. Gallo will ping it across towards the far side. He wanted to get it to Sabi, but his coach wanted him to make the run. Instead, they're going over the top. Too far for Akin Lesotho. Venting his frustration there towards nobody in particular, just the fact that he wouldn't be able to catch up to that one. Gallo receives it here on the near sideline. Akin Lesotho putting on the pressure. Switching fields. Ghazali for Gallo. Here comes the pressure. And that's why you charge the ball. Gallo normally very confident on the ball, but when you see a player coming at you, sometimes it just gets that little bit of adrenaline going. Throw in from Wayant. All the way back to Pineda. He'll try the far side. Both teams testing the width. Although the majority of the attack has come from the middle. Perez. Funanyaki checking back to the ball. Gallo trying to send it back to him. Good touch from Coleman. Pineda comes away with it. Wayant can't get it to settle down. Chicago bench wanted a handball. And that one will go out. Funanyaki. Second attempt was a nice settle there. Thorne steps into it. Perpa with it in the center circle. Again, in Funanyaki, he's just everywhere. Mostly a right winger. But he will make his way across the pitch anywhere to try to receive the ball. Trying to go over the top to Sabi, but that wasn't there. And Funanyaki gets it over to the far sideline, gets it back. This one goes over to the far sideline, and the Celtic from Baltimore are in on attack. Advantage was played. The official felt enough time had elapsed that he did not call the foul back. Chicago in with it now. Perpa to Gallo. Gallo very much a modern day right back, as his initial positioning is as a defender. But he is more than willing to cross over the midfielders and go in on the attack. That one was last touched by Baltimore, Keegan Kelly. Up to Coleman. Coleman settles it down. It was actually Charles Pulliam. Now he gets it to Akin Lesotho. Slicing through the defense like a knife through hot butter. Looking back for Coleman. Now intended for Pulliam. Pushing, tugging, going on in the box. But equal on both sides. Perez. Ladles one here. To Sabi. He saw the defender coming and played it off him. Last touch by Michael DeShields. Baltimore Celtic and Chicago Magic. Chicago in the white. If you're just joining us, we appreciate your viewership, especially if you're tuning into this one. Deflected towards goal. Hunt over to make the save. Didn't quite get the pace that they would have liked, but still a dangerous chance from the Chicago Magic. Again, we appreciate if you're watching here, intending to see the other U17 boys matchup. That one is still awaiting its start as the U15 girls match on that same field is still in extra time. All the tournament games today and throughout have been brought to you by the Turbo Sports Group. They are your home for streaming, highlights, full games, kind of a do-it-all sort of website. They also offer soccer training as well and much, much more. For more information, go to turbosportsgroup.com. Possession traded a couple times, but here comes Akin Lesotho. Perez tugged on the arm. Not really sure what he was complaining about. That was a clear tug on the arm. Substitution coming in now for Chicago Magic. Brian Arambula will come into the game. Free kick will come just to the attacking side of half line, right in front of your camera position. Left footer high in the air, might be too close to the goalkeeper. Pineda with a strong punch. Baltimore unable to keep it in the attacking third, but still in possession, trying to get it working over on the far side. Almost a giveaway. Over here to the near wing for Wayant. Ifuna Nyaki was unable to get control of that one, so it'll be a Celtic throw. Kelly looking for some options from the throw-in. Over the top for Pulliam. Perez blasts it away. Pulliam. Filtered through. Wayant. Looking back for Pulliam. He's more than capable of putting goals in the back of the net. Thorne backed up just enough to put a nice touch onto it. Wayant to Coleman. Coleman cutting in towards the box. He might have put too much on it. Is he able to save it? No, not according to the linesman. Ball will be put back into play off the goal kick. Both goalkeepers have got a couple touches on the ball, but not really forced to make any true saves yet. Touch there from Sabi, trying to work around the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper, take it out. Foul given. Chicago with the free kick. The official going to have a word with the goalkeeper. Oftentimes this is going to lead to a card. We'll see what happens here. Yellow is the color. So Carson Hunt into the book. Perhaps a little bit fortunate that that was not red. Oftentimes if a foul goes against the keeper and they are going to give out a card, It is of the undesirable color. The official deciding not to in that instance, not wanting to alter the course of this game completely. Substitutions coming in now for Chicago Magic. Kalenga Selamani and Kendall Stork. So a dangerous free kick here. A lot of bodies in that wall in front of Carson Hunt, who committed the foul, given a yellow card. This one coming just about 5 yards outside the box. They try to lift it over, and it's in! They score! Aaron Ibiloa with the goal to put Chicago up 1-0 off the free kick. You could tell it was going to be in a dangerous area there for the Chicago Magic. They got the free kick after the foul committed by Carson Hunt, and they are up by the score of 1-0. So in the 18th minute, Chicago takes the lead. And that is how cruel this game can be. Baltimore Celtic really had probably the better of the chances, despite possession numbers being roughly equal. But Baltimore Celtic had really put the pressure on the box. But that's all it takes, one free kick, and it was excellently taken by Aaron Ibiloa. There's absolutely no chance for Carson Hunt. That one, he didn't see it until the last possible second as that one went over the top of the wall. And when you get that close to the box, that's what makes it so dangerous on the attack, is you don't have to put a whole lot of loft over it with still being able to see the goal. Thorne with the deft little touches, he pulls it away. Chicago able to win it back on the challenge as Selamani able to gain control. His team is in possession now. Stork comes over to the near side for Arambula. Throw in quickly finds Perez. Kelly right into him. Able to win the challenge a second time. Sends it down low. One touch for Akinlo Sotu. And the foul is given as the referee says no advantage was available. The head official giving it a little bit of a talking to Ghazali. Kelly puts it back into play and receives it back. Trying to get it up the near wing to Wayant. Instead, it'll be Sabi. Selamati able to win that one, initially anyway. Nassar headed away by Celtic. Kelly boots it up the field from his midfield role. Perez. Ifunanyaki. Ifunanyaki threads the needle, but too much towards the goalkeeper. Stork and Kelly collide on the head ball attempt. Touch through. Here comes Pulliam. Sliding out to make the challenge was Pineda. Coach Caranta wanting his team to show a little bit more pressure, not being so lax and allowing Chicago to have possession. "1-0 is your score on an Aaron Ibeloa goal off a beautiful free kick chance. He heads it right back to his own keeper. Ibeloa to Perpa. Again, long ball over the top, looking for Sabi. It's got a little bit of spin on it, falls right to him. Good defending there to knock it away. Funanyaki able to regroup. Blasting his way towards the box, pulls it back. Funanyaki gets it again. And the official will say that the free kick was more valuable than any possible advantage. Brian Orambula in a little bit of distress here. Seems to be okay, although he's hunched over. They will not take the hydration break yet. They will allow the free kick to be taken. Although Chicago wanted the water break, taking the free kick here before might be to their advantage. Hunt barking out instructions, trying to get his wall in the place where he wants them. Stork in the wall, trying to allow a potential near post shot if they choose to take it. It looks like they're going to take it left-footed, which would put it around the left side of the wall as you're viewing it. Perez looks like he's the man to take it. Perpa is there as well. Perez lofts it towards goal and right into Hunt. Not a bad idea, but he needed to keep it more towards the edge of the 6-yard area. Hunt boots it away. That one is going to go goal to goal. Funanyaki gets a flick onto it, but nobody there. Sabi put his leg out, but Celtic able to evade. Perez chests it down. Funanyaki looking for Sabi. Instead, it's a through ball to Salamati. Cut out nicely at the last moment by Hopkins. Now, for whatever reason, there will be a goalkeeping change as Dakota Harridge has checked in at the center line. Not sure if they've seen any kind of ill effects from Carson Hunt. Throw in will go to the Baltimore Celtic. But with that stoppage, we will get a hydration break with the Chicago Magic leading by the score of 1-0. They got the goal on a very good free kick from Aaron Ibeloa. He was able to knock it up and over the wall and into the back of the net. Everybody back onto the field after the water break. 1-0 your score, as you see on your screen. Again, Aaron Ibiloa with the go-ahead goal. Chicago and Baltimore Celtic both trying to secure their spot in a national championship final. Booted away by Celtic, trying to catch up to it is Pulliam. He pushes off the defender, sends it deep into the box, to pull it away. Looking for some help. Wayant coming in, but so is Stork, and Stork wins it. It's one of those situations where not being aware of your opponent and their capabilities kind of comes back to haunt you a little bit, as Stork, probably one of the faster players on the field for either team. That pass needed to come much earlier and much harder. Still, Wayant will win the throw. Substitution coming in, Perros Bahar. Stork. Back to the defender. Bahar wins the header. DeShields. Couldn't quite keep it within his own team's possession. Purpa wanted a little ladle pass. That wasn't quite there. Now Kelly, who's pushed a little more forward. Bahar. Coleman. Wayant. He had Kelly open. He's going to send it through to Pulliam. The defender was on him like glue. Stork. A little shoulder ball there. Back to Pineda. Free kick will favor the Chicago Magic. Substitution coming in. The next dead ball will be Ziad Faris. Funinyaki had his feet taken out as he was up in the air. Arumbula tried to send it in. Sabi trying to battle for it. Chicago will retain. Silamani. Hit the deck, but Chicago still has it. Silamani on it again. This time the free kick will go to the Celtic. So Perez will come in for Purpa. Here comes a long ball. They want to go to Akinlasotu. It falls to him. Not very cleanly, though. The ball just too high. He tried to spin and volley it, but that was always going to be difficult, although he did have Pineda out. So a goal kick for Pineda. Popped up. Sliding, trying to make the challenge there was Selemani. It is going to be a throw-in, I do believe. Brandon Caranta, head coach of Baltimore Celtic, saying that it's not necessarily the point. He wanted the free kick. Sub coming in soon for Baltimore Celtic will be Gavin Boyer as Kelly wins the free kick. A little bit fortunate there as he seemed to have lost his footing initially, but according to the official, that was due to the fact that Selemani put a foot in. Boyer will have an opportunity to come in now as Kelly regroups after hitting the turf. So Boyer comes in for Coleman, who gets a well-deserved rest after a lot of good work. Through to midfield, Celtic in possession. Wanted to go through to Kinlo Sotu. He was offside and then played it. So that will draw the flag. No foul coming. Both players charged into each other. I suppose the referee was kind of given no choices, really. It was hard to tell who hit who first. Jashiana will check in for Chicago. That'll give a rest to Bradley Nasser. Chicago electing to waste a little time here. It's a little bit early for that, only up by a goal. Scored back in the 18th minute. Fares Arambula filtered through to Afunanyaki. Tried to touch it around the defender. He was successful. And here is a chance. It hits high on the defender. No call. Still with it. Stork trying to get it on the left foot. He's got a chance now. Shoots and right at the keeper. Dakota Harich, fresh into this game, able to get down and smother it. Now Chicago, perhaps feeling it a little bit, trying to get back into the attacking area. Arambula. He's got in Funanyaki, doesn't get it to him on the first time. Second attempt was perhaps intended for Sabi, still had it Funanyaki, as Coach Radoncic loudly points out. Bahar able to retain possession. Collision in the midfield. Celtic has a man down. Now they come out wide to Funanyaki. He's going to take it into the box. Crosses back for Sabi. Ferez. Arumbula Looking again for Sabi, just a bit too far. It'll be touched out, gaining the corner. The corner will come from the far side. It'll be taken by. It'll be swung in towards the goal. How close is the question? High up in the air. Goalkeeper stays. Ball was dangerous, but ultimately not on target. Goal kick as that went off Arambula. Selemani sends it up. Claimed by Herich. Salako getting ready to come in for Chicago. Forgot his shin guards though. That'll delay things a little bit. Ferez to Selemani. Back through the mid. Looking for Stork. Intercepted by Kelly. He sends a through ball to Pulliam. He's got some speed. Tries to cut it away from the defender. Nicely stepped into there by Ghazali. Back onto it is Kelly for Celtic. Thought about a left-footed. He has his legs taken out from under him. He is down. The referee says play on. No foul. Here comes Ifuna Nyaki. Kelly is still down. They try two slide tackles coming out, and getting a piece of the ball was Dakota Herich. Kelly's still down, and he is rolling around on the ground. Seems to be in a bit of discomfort, to say the least. Players will have an opportunity to get a bit more water. And unfortunately for Keegan Kelly, he is still down on the field, and I don't want to speculate too much, but based on the way he went down, he might have hit face first. Not too sure how much protection he could provide for himself, but the trainer is out on the field checking him out, trying to see what might be the cause of the injury for Kelly. It's just not been quite the tournament that he would have liked. He's an extremely aggressive player from what we've seen. Goes hard into every challenge. And now it looks like he may be holding his midsection, potentially an arm. Again, don't want to speculate too much. He seems to be either holding his left elbow or guarding his midsection. So hopefully this tournament for Keegan Kelly is not over. Hopefully he can just receive a little bit of medical attention and come back. But for at least the foreseeable future, he will be out of this contest. The other U17 boys game has begun. So now both semifinals are underway. Remember, we've got a split schedule if you want to watch all the games for today. The coverage presented by Turbo Sports today, or this game, as well as all the 10 o'clock hour games, are the final ones for the morning, and then we will rejoin you this evening. And again, for any of those who are interested in watching the entire tournament, the U19 championships will be tonight for boys and girls. But those have been changed just a little bit. The boys are still scheduled to be at 8 o'clock. I will bring you that one. But the U19 Girls Championship, as well as several other games that were scheduled to be in the 5 o'clock hour, will now be played at 7 p.m. Central Time to try to avoid most of the heat, because at 10 o'clock it was already 88 degrees here in Tulsa. It's expected to be a high of 98 with heat indexes well into the triple digits. So once you get that hot, even hydration breaks might not be enough, so they're doing their best to try to play in the most comfortable conditions possible for all the teams involved. Free kick given to Celtic as Kelly continues to see attention over by the trainer. We'll try to get you word if he returns to the bench, as that header went over the goal. So as we close in on the end of regulation time, the fourth official says there will be at least 4 minutes added on. Grant Ugarte will check into the game for Chicago at the next available moment. And Chicago is in control. Perez trying to ping a long ball. The defender stepped into it. Goalkeeper had come out to try to claim it, and he is taken out. That will draw the foul. I believe Sabi is going to receive a yellow card, and he will. Interesting turn of events as Ugarte was about to come in for Sabi. Either that or the yellow card forced a change in the substitute. Giveaway in the midfield. Chicago able to come up with it, but they send it right back. Wayant tried to thread the needle. He wanted to go to either Pulliam or Akin Lesotho. Chicago sending numbers forward as they want to try to get an insurance goal before halftime. They're already up by the score of 1-0. Selemani couldn't quite get up the wing. Now they need to recover. Chicago right back on it. Possession has waned here in the later stages of the second half for Baltimore Celtic. You have to wonder if potentially that injury to Keegan Kelly has kind of thrown their game off just a little bit. Player hits the deck. Referee gives the foul. Again, we're in stoppage time. There is reportedly going to be 4 minutes added on from the original 45. Chicago leading by the score of 1-0. Couple yellow cards given out as well. One for each team. Stork to the near side. His coach tells him he wants to put it in the box, but Stork is going to take it all the way himself. Then tries to put it in. Not successful there. Perez with the drive. That's not quite getting all the way through. Counterattack potential here. They ping it near side, and here comes Akin Lesotho. He's got some speed. Puts it on the right foot. Lets it thread the needle and then brings it back. Akin Lesotho trying to get some help, but Chicago was able to clear it out. Now Wayant through midfield. Bahar. For side. Flag goes up. Offside. The cart is now over by the Baltimore Celtic bench, but Kelly is still on it. And there is the whistle. We've played 45 here at this semifinal matchup between Baltimore and Chicago. And right now, Chicago has the lead by the score of 1-0 on an Aaron Ibiloa free kick way back in the 18th minute, and that held up the entire half. We'll see if that holds up for the second half or if Baltimore can rally around and find an equal. We'll take a quick break for halftime. When we come back, we'll have the second half of this game. It's been an entertaining one, and it's shaping up to be a solid second half. We'll be back in just a little bit. This is the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships, brought to you by Turbo Sports Group. Nike, the official supplier of U.S. Youth Soccer. Olive Garden, the official dining room of U.S. Youth Soccer. Sports Authority, the official sporting goods retailer of U.S. Youth Soccer. Wilson Trophy Company, the official awards, medals, and pins supplier of U.S. Youth Soccer. NSCAA is also a proud partner of U.S. Youth Soccer. Welcome back to the Mohawk Soccer Complex here at the half. I'm Todd Panula, and we're bringing you the U17 semifinal between the Chicago Magic and Baltimore Celtic. Right now it is 1-0 in the favor of Chicago. They scored back in the 18th minute as Aaron Ibiloa was able to take the free kick from just about 5 yards or so outside of the box, a shade to the left of center. He was able to rip it over the top of the wall and into the back of the net. There was absolutely no chance for the goalkeeper, Carson Hunt, who picked up a yellow card on the foul challenge. He has since been taken out of the game. He took a bit of a knock that they originally were going to bring in Dakota Harich for. They did not bring him in on that attempt, and then suddenly about 10 or 15 minutes later, Harich did come into the game, so don't really have any kind of clue as to whether Hunt is injured or whether they decided not to put themselves in any kind of threat of going down by a man for the goalkeeper picking up another card. But unfortunately, that puts Baltimore in a tough spot because they also picked up an injury to Keegan Kelly, who has had a relatively rough tournament so far. Who's found himself really kind of behind the eight ball a little bit. He picked up a red card in the initial game that we brought to you from them. Served his suspension, came back, and he's a hard-nosed player. He likes to stick his nose in those dirty areas, to borrow a hockey term. But oftentimes when you do that, you're going to pay the price every now and then, and unfortunately for him, he did. As of right now, he is still kind of being seen to by the trainer. He has his jersey off. Still not sure if it was an elbow or a potential rib, but it did seem to be something kind of in that core area. Outside of that, don't want to speculate too much. Again, if he looks like he's going to rejoin the game, we will let you know right then and there. And they are putting his arm in a sling, so just one more little update there on Keegan Kelly. He is putting his left arm in a sling. Not sure, again, we're not going to speculate too much on the extent of the injury, but one would expect that even if Celtic wins, that most likely, if they are taking that kind of precaution, that his tournament may be done. And never like to see that, especially for a good hard-nosed player like that. But those are the kind of things that happen when you play sports. Unfortunately, injuries are part of the game, undesirable part. But Baltimore Celtic will try to have to rally around their teammate, even though he will not be in action. So here from the near side, Guiana to Perez. Far wing lifted up by Rambula into touch. Trying to go over the top, headed away. Guiana was right there. Funanyaki couldn't quite keep it on his foot. Trying to go over the top to Akinla Sotu. Defense got a foot to it, but wouldn't have mattered as offside is the call. Long ball over the head of Akinlo Sotu. Iana gets to it first. Now Perez. Most of the substitutions at the end of the second half have stayed in for Chicago. Now Stork and Coleman having a few words. The free kick puts it back into play. They get it over the top. If Funanyaki will track it down, trying to pull it into the corner, gains the throw. Long throw in, way in the air. Coming up, getting ahead to it was Stork. But he got just a bit too far underneath it, and it goes up and over. Again, your goalkeepers for Chicago, Carlos Pineda. The goalkeeper now for Baltimore Celtic, Dakota Harich. The starting keeper was Carson Hunt. He picked up an injury and a yellow card, not necessarily in that order. This one is in, it scores! Jesus Perez with an absolute rocket shot to give them a 2-0 lead. Chicago with that cushion now. Seemingly out of nowhere, Baltimore Celtic really behind it now. They trail by 2. Just an absolute rip there. Harich, perhaps a step slow to react, but not really sure when he saw the ball, as he probably didn't expect that shot to be taken anyway, but it was just an absolute cracker of a shot. Harich did his best to try to get a palm or a fingertip, fingernail, whatever you want onto it. May have gotten just the slightest touch, but ultimately for naught. But take nothing away from the shot right there as Perez just hammered it home to make it 2-0. So Chicago up by 2 goals. Can Baltimore find something to get them to rally? It's going to take something special now, as they have had a few chances, a few good through balls, but ultimately it hasn't led to much, as they really haven't put anything on Perez. Sabby hoping to draw the foul. The goalkeeper ended up with possession. They looked long, trying to get it to Akinlo Sotu. Too far for him. Settled down by Stork in the midfield. Akinlo Sotu trying to let it run through. Chicago wanting a whistle. The ball sky high in the air, up where the air is thin. Clark gains the throw. Poked through by Sabby. He's going to get to it. Wants to left foot it across. Sliding to take it away was Hopkins. But nevertheless, gaining the corner kick. So Stork will come over and take the corner from the near side. Low corner, they take the shot, skimming across goal. It goes out. Great corner kick taken there. It was actually taken by the goal scorer, Ibiloa. Stork had initially come over. His coach called him off. But again, everything going Chicago's way right now as they're starting to assert a little bit of dominance. Baltimore's day is not done, but it's going to take some work. Going over the top, they wanted to get it to Sabi. In front of that was DeShields. Thorne sends it over to Wayant. Wayant using up all the space allotted to him. Now he'll send it over, and that went off the side foot. Another Chicago throw. Funinyaki wanted to get it to Selemani. Losing control of the ball there was Wang. Now here comes Funinyaki, bringing it back towards center. Near side for Stork. He sends it in for Funinyaki. He tried to play it back. Farina was there. Stork will pick it up, pushes it past the defender, trying to take it to the end line. Stays in, gets it across, but Sabi had come too close to goal. One time out, but Perez trying to get it right in. Perez. Now the shot! Farina had it lined up, but just hit it a little bit off the instep instead of right through the shoelaces. Chicago up 2-0. They've got a goal in the 18th minute from Aaron Ibiloa and one in the 49th from Jesus Perez. Offside whistled against Sabi. The sun continues to bake here. Again, for those of you interested in the entire tournament, as this one gets all the way through, here comes Coleman up the right side, plays it across, gets it back. Another attempt. Counterattack could be on here. They send it over to the far sideline, wide open is Funinyaki. He can't quite get it to settle down, tried to get the shot off. Initial chance was deflected away, and so is the second. Funinyaki, just seemingly endless amounts of energy, came all the way back towards midfield to try to catch that one. Ibiloa up from his center back position. Now he's caught up a little bit too far. Chicago will clean up for him. As we get back and forth action here, the midfield really starting to open up. As I tried to mention before, if you want to watch the entire tournament, if you're interested in the U19 championships, the girls' game, as well as several other games in the 5 o'clock hour, have been moved to 7 p.m. to try to avoid the bulk of the heat of the day. The U19 Boys Championship, which will be our featured game, I will bring that to you. That will still come at 8 o'clock. Here comes Sabby, trying to dance around a couple slide tackles to Stork. Still on the ball. They cannot get it off their feet. Stork to an offside Sabby. Flag came up straight away. Even from my vantage point, you could kind of see it. Substitution going to come in. They took the free kick a little too quickly for it. It will be Peroz Bahar coming in for Baltimore Celtic. Late sliding challenge there on the part of Chicago, and a quick yellow card given out to Yana. Now the referee has a lot of bodies around him, and this is probably one of the things that I dislike most about the sport. Love soccer, played it for the majority of my own life, but this recent thing that has happened where players feel the need to surround an official, and now a yellow card has been handed out to, it looks like, Aquinas Ikinlosotu as well. Not sure if he touched the official or said something. Regardless, he goes into the book. Boyer comes out. Bahar is on. And a dangerous free kick almost from the exact same spot that Ibiloa scored for Chicago in the first half. Several players over the top of the ball for Baltimore. Trying to go right at the wall just like Chicago did. Coleman's shot was blocked. Pulliam with the attempt. Pineda tried to come out with the punch. Couldn't really tell if the defender got it first. Offside will be the call against Bahar. Ayana here on the near sideline. Trying to go long for Sabi, but DeShield saw it. Bahar will pick it up in trying to bring it through the midfield. Instead, it's Coleman retreating just a few steps. Hopkins filtered through. Now Akinlosotu, too many defenders there to make his way around. Trying to gain the throw in, and he will not. Nicely played out. Throw in for Chicago as they lead 2-0. Goals from Ibiloa and Perez. Chicago will send it long, almost getting it all the way up to half field. Funanyaki looking for Sabi. Bahar with the nice settle off the chest. Wang. Again, trying those long balls, reminiscent of that semifinal loss to Jamaica by the United States men's national team. Once you find yourself down, sometimes you get just a little bit too desperate. Right now, Baltimore needs possession. Sending these long balls just isn't working. Plays right into the hands of Chicago. Here comes Wayant, sending it up the far sideline, but Pineda saw that one coming. Still a decent amount of time left in this half as we haven't even reached the water break. but time is not on the side of Baltimore Celtic, down by 2. Bradley Nassar will come into the game for Chicago, giving Iana a bit of a rest. Ball slipped out of the hand there. Still an official throw, according to the officials. Coach Radoncic thought it might have been a foul. Don't often see foul throw-ins given at this level. Thorne plays it back to his keeper. Harwich boots it upfield. Again, trying those long balls, and they're just not to be had. Nassar took a bit of a chunk out of the field. Again, looking for thought it might have been offsides. I believe it's actually going to be a foul, so that will actually benefit Baltimore Celtic. Free kick will go in. Right now it depends on what side of the field it's going to be on. Looks like it will be on the defensive side for Celtic. Quickly back into play, Bahar for Coleman. Again, trying to go over the top. That just has not been there. Near side for Ibeloa. Nassar, Ibeloa. Huge punt here from Harwich. Nobody in the midfield for Celtic as the heat starting to get to everybody. A little bit more standing around from all the players. Their coach is trying to urge them on. Hopkins, Bahar. Stepped into. Perez wins it again to Shields. Harwich cleanly plays it away. Coleman calling for a run. Akin Lesotho will catch up to it on the near wing. Puts it right back into the mixer. Pulliam was there, got a right foot to it, but it also hit the defender. Pineda. Taken back by Celtic. Chipped over Coleman. Arenas. Now Stork. Tripped up and gains the foul. Chicago wanted a quick restart, but the official said that the ball was not quite where he wanted it. Lamani will come back in for Chicago when he gets an opportunity. Funinyaki keeps it alive, chipping over the top. Bicycle kick! Oh, what a goal that would have been. It would not have counted. The flag on the far side was up, but it will be a goal kick. The referee says that stoppage will be the last, and we will have a hydration break. Chicago getting the insurance goal just a few minutes into the second half. A big-time strike from Jesus Perez to put his team up by 2 as they take a little bit of a water break. Ready to get back to it after the hydration break as the teams retake the field. 2-0 is your score. Chicago on top from an 18th minute goal from Aaron Ibiloa and then a 49th minute goal from Jesus Perez. Chicago has been really in charge of this one if you take a grand scheme of things. Baltimore had a good bit of possession back in the first half, but a big strike here as Sabi was going for glory. But you can't blame it on the injury, but the injury to Keegan Kelly seems to have taken a little bit of the air out of the sails of Baltimore Celtic, but you have to give a lot of credit to Chicago as well, as they have really allowed nothing in terms of attack for the team clad in black. So now Silamani will finally come onto the field. We'll give Spencer Farina a break. Back into play off the goal kick. Ziad Ferris able to win that one. Funanyaki was looking for Sabi. Funanyaki will track it down. His coach imploring him just to hold it a little bit after a couple juggles. Pulls it back to the corner. Still in. Funanyaki still in possession. Gets it back from Stork. In towards the box. Funanyaki for Selemani. Ball caught up between the wickets. And DeShield's able to come away with it. Plays it up, but unaware was Akindo Sotu. Stork. Lofts one far side. Got its intended target in Sabi. Here's Perez giving it to Sabi. Right on a string. The shot skimming across the face of goal again. The goalkeeper, Dakota Harrich, had come out to try to get on some of the angle. But Funanyaki was unable to really get that one on target. Nevertheless, another glorious scoring opportunity for Chicago. Again, if this scoreline holds up, Chicago will go to the U17 National Finals. Here's Sabi in towards the danger area. Gains a corner kick. Chicago in no big rush to get over and take this corner, as time is on their side. Perez will take the corner. He'll take it from the left side. Swing it in towards goal. Everybody up towards the box except for two. Lofted nicely to the back post. Defender got ahead to it. Corner kick. Or potentially a throw. Linesman on the near side had his flag up. That would most likely indicate a throw-in. Right back for Nassar. Alvarez. To Shields, heads it away. Bahar can't win it, but it's still with Celtic. Again, trying those long balls, but too quick. Akindo Sotu. Now with Clark. Clark near side. Coleman is open. Nassar trying to track him down. Now two on him. Center official says it'll be a corner. Corner will be taken by Coleman from the right. Swing it out towards the penalty spot. Line drive kick. Easily headed away. Again, Coleman holds it in on the line. Absorbs the challenge, puts it off the defender. He'll get it again. Now he'll let it roll out. Time is not on Baltimore's side right now. Chicago with it. Over the center circle. Sabi keeping possession. Ifunanyaki right here. Heeding his manager's instruction to hold the ball. Back to Nassar. Now Perez. Ifunanyaki. Again, this is almost like a one-touch passing drill right now. Ibiloa is going way up there. Just giving away possession, really. Bahar with it. Clark is blasted into by Selemani. Nassar to Ifunanyaki. Nassar making the run around. Doesn't get the pass. Perez. Thought Nassar was going to keep running. To Shields for Celtic. Again, just looking for those long balls. They're not there. That will most likely run out. It's caught up in the grass just a little bit. Akinlo Sotu trying to get into the box, trying to do something special here on the zone. Too many defenders in his path. Stork tries one through off the back heel of Sabi. Sabi chips the defender and then pulls him down. Luca Purpa will come on to the game as Sabi reluctantly comes off as a substitute. Picking up speed through the midfield was Wayant, but he had his pocket picked by Perez. He's done it all here today. Scored a goal, played good defense, solid passing. Foul given. Baltimore Celtic will get the kick with time waning. So Gallo will come in for Silamani after picking up a yellow. Silamani extremely upset with somebody. Pineda will have the goal kick as that one went out. Substitute's going to try to check in for Baltimore at this late stage in the game. Be Quentin Valiente. Funanyaki tried to drop one there for Gallo. Instead, here comes Baltimore on a counter. Wayant trying to show the speed. Slide tackle just nipped him. Referee says play on. Akin Losotu is open in the middle. And the pass too far behind. Stork, who is ever present in the midfield, comes back to pick it up. Avoids one tackle. Now he's going to go forward. Slide tackle there by Hopkins was on point. Here comes Wang. Over the top, offside was Coleman. So Valiente will come in. Wang will get a rest. Into touch, throw in for Chicago. Around about 7 minutes of regular time left in this one. Can't imagine there would be a lot of stoppage time, but sometimes you'd be surprised as this one goes out again. Throw in for Baltimore deep in their own end. U17 semifinal, it's been an entertaining one from a neutral standpoint. Obviously, Baltimore a little bit disappointed with the potential outcome. Still enough time for them to try to make an impact here, but they have to do it quickly. You cannot leave it all until the last couple minutes. Valiente had somebody step into him. That was Perez to Shields. Plays it up. Again, not a whole lot of purpose behind the balls. They're just trying to go over the top. Here's Coleman. Ken Lesotho making a run on the right. He will cut it in towards the middle instead. Bahar to Thorne. Again, over the top. Defense-wise. Perez keeping a hold of it. Thorne takes him out. Bahar a little bit upset. Felt that Perez was milking it, but it looked like he got run into pretty hard from our vantage point over here. Here comes Ibiloa for Ifuninyaki. Not quite far enough. Still, Perez will get to it. Back to Nassar. Ifuninyaki holds it in right on the line. Now he's got some space going towards goal. Looking for Stork. Back for Ifuninyaki. A little back heel. He shoots. Oh, what a save. What a chance for Ifuninyaki. What touch on the ball. The little back heel flick over his head, over the defender. Had a great chance if Harwich had not come out and cut off the angle. That's in the back of the net. Stork with it, just trying to kill some time now. It'll be a Baltimore throw. To Shields, sent it far side. Nobody really over there. It's either going to go out. They come back and winning it was Wayant, but he will still give up the throw. Little over 3 minutes left in regulation. Chicago with a relatively comfortable lead. Baltimore has not really threatened Carlos Pineda, especially in this half, perhaps a couple times in the first. But really, once Chicago scored, it's been all magic. Foul given. Chicago closing in on a potential national championship final. Ifuninyaki able to win the ball. Now to Perez. Shove from behind. Chicago has it. Ifuninyaki puts it in, but no goal. Offside. Perez wins the ball away. Now Gallo. Thorne right on him. Gallo will take it all the way towards the corner. Puts on the brakes. Feet taken out. Referee does not put the whistle up. Gallo still on the ball. Now we get a foul, and it's going to go against Chicago. Closing in on stoppage time. Still no official indication of how much we will have. Now the foul goes against Baltimore, as this game is almost surely slipping away from them. Grant Ugarte will come back in. Near side for Ibiloa. Now Nassar. And back. Perez mishit. Akin Lesotho gets it back after Valiente headed it over to him, but then he couldn't get the settle right on the shoelaces. Stork with it now for Chicago. Slide tackle unsuccessful there. Now Bahar along the near sideline, barely keeps it in. Coleman too far behind Valiente. Here comes Gallo, chipping it over to Akin Lesotho. He's onside, touches around the goalkeeper, but he got just enough on it to thwart that attack. Now Clark trying to spring to counter. He's got Pulliam with speed over on the far side. Pulliam peels it back. Thought about taking it forward. Got the player to fall down, but still not much available here. Now Clark tracks back. Instead, it's Kendall Stork. Funanyaki pushes it around. Herich will come out. At least 2 minutes. It will be added on to the end of this half. Pulliam tried to get a little flick over the top. That was actually Coleman. Step over by Ibiloa. Ibiloa taking it towards the box. DeShields puts a shoulder in. Scoops it up. Ibiloa back onto it. Takes the shot. Sliding stop by the defender there. That was Hopkins. Chicago just moments away from a national championship berth here. Substitution will come in. Grant Ugarte. Nassar will come out. Stork has been pushed back to the wing-back spot as Ugarte moves up into the midfield. Chicago taking their time on their throw-in. No rush on this one as they're in control by 2. Perez keeps a hold of the ball, still with it. Now it's played out, Baltimore throw. Time ticking away. Pineda will have an opportunity to put it back into play off the goal kick. They have a man down. And there it is. There is the final whistle. Chicago Magic PSG have defeated Baltimore Celtic by the final of 2-0. Chicago got goals from Aaron Ibiloa and Jesus Perez. So they take this one. They will go on to the final, beating a very game and valiant Baltimore Celtic team. They were very spry in the first stages of the game, but seemingly once that goal was scored and then once Keegan Kelly went down, nothing seemed to go the way of the Celtic players. But Chicago did everything right, and they are fully deserving of an opportunity to play for a national championship. So that will wrap up our morning coverage here on this field. There are some other games going on if you want to check out any of those. The other U17 game is still in action as that one was delayed by the previous game going into extra time. So if you want to check that one out, just navigate around the USYouthsoccer.org website. But until later, remember, if you're interested in the rest of the games of this tournament, the evening games, the 5 o'clock hour games have all been pushed back to the 7 o'clock hour. Make sure to check out the website for official times. But until then, for all of us here at Turbo Sports, I'm Todd Panula. Chicago wins by the score of 2-0. Have a great one, everyone.